Yeah, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear guests from all over the world, a very warm welcome to you all to the IT Trans. You, esteemed guests, have come to us from hundreds, some of you even from thousands of kilometers away in order to be here in Karlsruhe for the Public Transport World's biennial meeting to discuss the innovation for modern, future-orientated public transport. I find this quite fabulous. Welcome to Karlsruhe in the heart of the technology region, a flourishing region of business and research. Before giving you an insight into the city of Karlsruhe's public transport system, I'd like to say a few words about the IT Trans. Some 800 visitors and 80 exhibitors came to the premiere of the biennial IT Trans in 2008. By 2012, these figures had risen to 150 exhibitors and over 3,000 visitors. We are expecting further growth in visitors' numbers for the event this year, with IT managers and decision makers attending roughly from 65 countries. The industry is showing a bit interest in the trade fair this year. More than 160 exhibitors from 26 countries are presenting their innovations. A top-class conference with an outstanding international program introduced future issues relevant to the industry. IT Trans, the only event where this concentration of specialists and knowledge can only be found. And we're proud of it. IT Trans is a success story. For this reason, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take the opportunity to say a few words of thanks and appreciation at this point. My thanks firstly to all those responsible and to organizers, the International Association of Public Transport, the UETP in Brussels, and our Karlsruhe Messe und Kongress GmbH. Sincere thanks too, of course, to the international associations, sponsors, partners and supporters of this fascinating event. A big thank to you, the sponsors like Init. We had the sponsors on the screen. Like Init, Trapeze, Scheidt and Bachmann, Höft and Wessel, Atron, Nokia, Giro and PTV. The IT Trans is also supported by the following national transport association: the VDV, the Association of German Transport Companies, Astra in Italy, and the UTP in France, and certainly by our Karlsruhe Verkehrsverbund and the Technology Region Karlsruhe. Not to be forgotten, either the exhibitors, media partners and supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't be here today without you. We need your support and ideas. Please join us too in the future to help us to strengthen the leading position of this important and international significant event. The significance of the IT Trans can be gauged too by the patronage of the Federal Minister Alexandra Dobrindt, whose ministry, tellingly, is responsible for transport and digital infrastructure. Transport and IT, two essential sectors for our society. We are also pleased that the Baden-Württemberg government appreciates this event. Winfried Herrmann, Baden-Württemberg's Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, is visiting the IT Trans on Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, never before have people in Germany traveled so much by bus and rail. Die Statis, the Federal Statistics Office, published the figures only a few days ago. In last year, passengers made almost 11 billion trips by bus and rail on scheduled local public transport services, nearly 1% more than the year before. The same here in Karlsruhe. Our local public transport service, the KVV, is also expecting 0.3% growth in the number of passengers and 2013. In our region, we carry nearly 180 million passengers per year. This region has about 1 million inhabitants. So everybody is traveling every day, several times. And these numerous construction sites we have in the city, we are right now building a subway in the downtown, and it's really in the construction area. We will combine tunneling and bypass infrastructure projects to improve the public transport system as well as the climate in the city as downtown area. The objectives here is greater quality of life, safety and efficiency in the local public transport network for everyone in our region. Those interested in taking a closer look can take part in an informative technical excursion to the so-called Kombi-Lösung within the framework of this IT Trans. So you can visit our construction areas in downtown. The KVV is the third largest association of transport companies in Baden-Württemberg. This provides a unified transport and tariff system for a total of 245 routes within our network. Here I'd like to briefly mention the particular significance of the KVV, the Karlsruhe Association of Transport and Companies. The tram train system, the so-called Karlsruhe model, is regarded as a pioneer model for linking the urban tram network with the national railway network. In spite of continuous growth of passengers' numbers, untapped potentials still exist for delivering benefits to the local public transport network in the KVV region as well. A study commissioned by the KVV shows that a good half of the inner city car traffic in Karlsruhe could be replaced by alternative modes of transport. Today, the share of the market held by local public transport fluctuates between less than 10% in rural areas and over 60% in inner city traffic. The tram is by far the #1 mode of transport in our city district. This pole position must be maintained and expanded upon, whereas the position of local public transport must be strengthened in regional transport services. The opportunities for local public transport are particularly good on routes between towns and their environments, as demonstrated by the new urban railway routes, which have succeeded in significantly increasing passengers' numbers and the share of market. Investment projects, such as extending the rail network or updating the fleet, however, are not the only means of achieving growth in the market share. At least just important are communicative measures. Studies have shown that many motorists are inadequately informed about the local public transport. Information plays a decision role in winning over establishing a bond with passengers. This is a big issue at IT Trans. Right after me, Vernon Everett, Managing Director, Customer Experience Managing and Communications of Transport for London in the UK, will be speaking on the demands of the so-called smart traveller. It's precisely the requirement changed by the use of smartphones and tablets which are on the agenda here in Karlsruhe. It is of special importance, too, to keep passengers optimally informed about their connections and routes, whilst the big infrastructure projects are underway. And preferably in real time. This can only be achieved when the current position of the vehicle is known, and there should be according to the timetable. The Intermodal Transport Control System, ITCS, enables data to generate automatically. For the dynamic passengers information, display screens, for example, or web-based applications such as our KVV app. ITCS plays a big part in incident management. It enables prompt action to be taken with the appropriate measures in response to accidents, for example. And over 70% of all vehicles here in Karlsruhe are currently equipped with this ITCS. The remainder will be fitted with the system in the next few months. What is the benefit for the smart passenger? The KVV app provides, for example, real-time information relating to many stops within our KVV region, traffic reports, disruptions, and diversions due to our construction works, which still remain during the next years, I'm afraid. More than a quarter of all KVV website users obtain access through a mobile phone. We've been offering passengers mobile phone tickets for 6 years now. A total of some 30,000 customers were registered in our KVV mobile phone ticketing system last year. Another service we already provide is Touch and Travel. The KVV has equipped all the stops in the region and the AVG tramwork, including those in the city center, with so-called touch points. These points already exist at all Deutsche Bahn stations. Anyone wanting to use Touch and Travel can download a free app and register for the system. Customers log in at the touch point prior to boarding and then log out after alighting at their destination. As you can see, we are already facing up to challenges presented by smart travelers and intend to continue our efforts to provide a smart public transport system. To end my speech, please allow me a few words about the key IT trends issue of safety. Safety, after all, is a top requirement for acceptance for public transport, especially during nighttime or on the weekends. Here, the KVV has opted partly for the human factor and partly for the technology. The presence of ticket inspectors and security personnel ensures that safety is enhanced, especially at night. Surveillance cameras are selected have a preventive effect against vandalism and pickpockets and the like. The trams, too, are progressively being fitted with cameras measured that began in 2007. Roughly 400,000 euros was spent on rectifying damage by vandalism in 2009. In last year, the figure has been reduced by almost half, around 200,000 euros, which I consider to be a great respectable achievement. In our view, investment in the right technology is the way to go. Investment in public transport is worthwhile for our city and everyone in our region. Investment in cutting-edge IT technology, ladies and gentlemen, is worthwhile for transport companies and planners all over the world. Over the next 3 days, my distinguished guest, you have the opportunity to play a part in shaping the future of public transport in our countries and cities. Let's set about it without delay for a bright and safe future worth living. The local public transport experts and IT managers from Karlsruhe are here as well, and of course to get more ideas and inspiration for our smart travelers, as we can afford it to sit back and rest on our laurels. What counts now is to make the right investments and thereby avoid missing the boat. Ladies and gentlemen, my speech has now reached its conclusion, and I would just like to point out that the official tour of the trade fair, which you're most welcome to take part in, takes place after this opening. And now, I wish you a fascinating and successful day at the IT Trans, and please, a pleasant stay in Karlsruhe, even we have quite a lot of construction soon for the public transport system. Thank you.